It's about as ready as I can be. On that note, welcome back to the Z. On the previous episodes, if you missed those, we did do a little bit of a recap of where we are now, kind of where we're going. So if you missed that and you want all that information, just check out those episodes. I think we did 5 now, this is number 6. So, but today, we're gonna do a lot of the sheet metal stuff, a lot of the not so fun cleanup of what was, and we are gonna completely prepare the surfaces for what will become. So we're going to work on repairing some of the damage that's in the rear quarter panel area. There's the factory gas door on this car. I'm gonna eliminate that because we're gonna do a fuel cell rear hatch access for that. So we're gonna clean that up. There's some really janky repairs that were done. So on that note, enough jibber jabber. I'm just gonna get to work and follow along for the ride. Let's go. Look at that boot right there. Toyo R888R. That's a 305. That's a meaty boot for a Z. Now we're just gonna grind this off a little bit. We're gonna see how bad this is. It looks pretty warped, and it's a pretty poor repair done. So we're gonna eliminate that. I think what we might do is just reshape a whole new panel on here. So that's, you know, this is a compound curve up here with a really gentle brake line down here. So got a little English wheel work, a little bit of a bead roller with a tipping die on here, I think, probably. And yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So if I see sparks, I put a little less pressure. I don't want to grind off too much base metal. This Datsun base metals or material is super thin. I noticed that when I was removing some of the flanges from the inside. Very delicate. Keep that in mind. If you're ever going to work on a Z car, go at it with caution. So this is the flange back here that I want to expose. I'm going to cut this pocket out of the way so that when I do come at it with the drill, with the spot weld drill bit, I'll actually have better access to it. So there we go. Yeah, that wasn't even properly attached before. There's a bunch of spot welds in there that I can't really see. We're just gonna try to remove them. We got 3 layers of sheet metal to try to make that flange on that repair job that someone did. Never seen that before. What we're gonna do, I think we're just gonna commit to cutting out that whole panel. It's gonna be easier just to make a new panel than it would be to deal with that. That looks square, but I don't know for sure if it is or not. So I'm gonna grab a square, we'll check that, we'll take some dimensions, we'll go cut a piece of metal and we'll band. It's good to have pals like Steve. He's 2 steps ahead of me. Okay. You could be very precise with making templates. You know, you could do all that. I'm not gonna do that on this one because I think this one's gonna be simple enough just to shape by eye. What I want is to make sure that that part right there is square. What I'm doing right here is not exactly precision, but it's it's gonna get me close enough. So this is my straight line, my square corner. It should get me really close. So 9 1/4. Right? Okay, Steve. Let's do it. Let's go bend some metal. Here's some 20 gauge right here. Six and 3/4. Now we'll leave a little bit long on the top because we can always remove. Flat to curve, dimensions change a little tiny bit. So we're gonna foot shear it. So that is a quarter panel patch. Do you see it? Hey? Okay, let's go put some shape in it. Maybe it'll make more sense. Right over here to the English wheel. So we're gonna choose the lower die with the least amount of radius in it. This old English wheel is a workhorse in our shop. We built this one. Let's clean these up. I know that I need this to be like this, but it's super, super subtle, right? This is the top of the quarter panel, and it has that slight curve, and it has a very, very slight curve this way too. So it's compound radius. Very, very subtle, very slight, really, really easy to accomplish with something like this. I'm not gonna use very much pressure, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of, I'm gonna force the bend. So let's go take this to the car, because I feel like that much bend is pretty close. I mean, that's pretty close. Needs a slight bit more. What we can do is, because we're here, you can just...
That's actually how I bent some of the panels under my Datsun.
Hey.
That's what English means.
That's how you do it, right? I'm gonna take this thing over to the bead roller right now with the tipping die, and I'm just gonna put the slightest little bend in that just to kind of get it in place. And then we'll refine the rest of this shape, and then we'll start trimming, cutting it. And I'm just gonna run it through. Should probably only take one time through. You can probably see that little tiny sharp line. Just softening that ever so slightly. There we go. Look at that. You can see, if you look real careful, you can see that I left a little bit of material right before my scribe line. So now I can come at it with this and then take it another step farther and take it right in there with my hand file. So not bad. That's a big hole. If you can't get the nozzle in there, you shouldn't be driving a car. All right. Let's use a couple magnets here to hold this thing in place. Mount. Yeah, the top is out. So this bottom radius right here on each corner, they need a slight touch. We're getting pretty close. We're just doing that final little fit right there.
It's that perfect fit.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
We're in the pursuit of perfection. In the pursuit of perfection in a short time period.
No problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, do you have a deadline for this car? Like, at least a deadline for yourself?
No, I don't have an official deadline for this car, other than saying sooner than later. we could joke about it and say, oh yeah, it's a SEMA car.
Yeah.
SEMA 2022, here. We're gonna make it. I think that if this car is ready for the summer of 2023,
Okay.
I'll be laughing. I'll probably dance a jig out in the street. Seriously.
Have me in the first house, okay?
Right?
Summer 23? Oh.
Just gonna prep this. I'll grab the welder and we'll tack it in. I gotta stretch that out. This is just so that it opens that gap up again. Now it fits again. It's crazy, like every time you tack that, it shrinks. And then it'll tighten up the joint right next to it, right?
Yeah.
So right here, those other ones that I did, they were okay because it was slightly open. But here, it tightened that up to the point where it was overlapping. Stretch that out just a touch, right where it was when I originally set it up. Now it's fitted perfectly again. So that's usually what you do all the way along, like from one tack to the next. You just keep on doing that. See? Now that's too tight. So now I gotta do it. Lit. That's basically it. So from this point, I'll just, I'll hammer and dolly, get them leveled out just that much more, tack it in between, and I'll just keep on tacking it, basically every half an inch or whatever in between them all, and just keep on hammer and dollying it. Make sure that it's nice and, if it follows the right contours, everything's good. And we'll just give it a quick, very, very quick grind just to remove the extra material from the tack reinforcements, and then we'll go about just welding it up. I'd say that's a vast improvement from that.
Yep.
Yeah?
Huge.
I mean, look at that. Look what was.
I need to eliminate all the extra sheet metal from the flange connection of what was the original floor, firewall, trunk area. I need to clean up all the inside of the body and basically prep it for all new.
All of this flange, all the way around, that was the original firewall and floor. It's, we just need to drill out all the spot welds and just clean it all up, get it all ready. And yeah, all the way around the wheel well, the original shock tower for the back, all the way around the back side of the car. So I'm working my way through removing some of this flange, and some of you may notice that I left this outer wheel tub on there. So I cleaned up all this flange, by removing the residual from the inner wheel tub, and I left this on to kind of give this whole panel extra strength until I get a little bit deeper into this project. This will be removed because we need to fabricate a wheel tub outer from this point all the way out to the Rocket Bunny flare itself to fully enclose it. We don't want any debris and everything from the ground going up into that area. It's messy, it's noisy, it sucks. And where we live here in British Columbia, it's wet. So that will be removed later, but I'm working my way through it. It's a serious pain in the butt. The old Z car sheet metal is super thin. This is just a real nuisance to remove, and it's gonna take me a while. So hopefully we can get it done sooner than later. I don't want this to drag on too long. Anybody recognize that engine? It's from the Evil Evo. It's gonna go back in pretty soon. Spot weld drill bit only does a circle around the spot weld. That's kind of the significance of why you use it. You're not trying to drill too much material out. You don't want to poke a hole in the base material. It still has its challenges though. You could go too far, end up just digging a hole right into it. But that's what it looks like. I'm gonna carry on all the way forward from the rear and we'll get that off. Take a look at the floor. Yeah, look at that. Remember what I was saying? This is dirty work. This is the no fun stuff. But look how much nicer that looks now. See? All of that dirty work is necessary to get to that. Now we can move forward. As soon as I get some material, I've had some material on order for the inner frame structure, the jig fixturing materials as well. We'll get all that in place. I hope that comes sooner than later because I'd love to get into that part of this build. This is just to sort of keep things rolling, tide us all over. And if nothing else, it's one foot in front of the other. We're moving forward on this project. It feels good. It's not that exciting, but it's still kind of cool. If you like this episode, you like what we got going on here, hit the like button, subscribe if you can. It helps our channel grow. We'll really appreciate it. If you're not following us on our socials, there'll be links and everything for all that kind of stuff. I'm talked out. I'm ready to go home. I think everybody's ready. Let's call it a day.